It's okay. I don't sound underwater or anything. No one's complained today. I have been on this all day today. I swear. I did have an in-person meeting this morning. Everyone was in mass and stuff to look over some architectural renderings for my kids' new school. Really, really exciting stuff, y'all. But other than that, I've been on a client update meeting on Zoom and another meeting on Google Meet, and all it's like blah, 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 all kinds of stuff. So while we're waiting for people to join, don't forget to go to see me at coopedup.com. I saw some of y'all went yesterday. Thank you for checking it out. And then follow me on Instagram. I'm cooped up. That's me. Hey, mama. So, today is kind of like a Friday in our house. The kids do not have school tomorrow. Tomorrow is parent-teacher conference day. And so we have, like, at 10 o'clock in the morning, we have a virtual conference, and then another one at 10:30, and then we are donezo. So the kids are out. They're actually already here at the house playing on their video games. I'm on I'm on my hotspot just so that they're not sucking up all the internet. Very clear picture. Yay! I'm glad. Yesterday's was remarkably clear too in the broadcast rebroadcast. And I'm using the hotspot, so maybe that's the key because our house. They actually just put a 5G broadcast tower like a block over. I don't know if we're close enough to it or not. And my router can read 5G, so who knows? Who knows? Let's stick with it if it works, right? But today's like our Friday, so the kids are on their screens just because they don't get them during the week, and so on Fridays we just don't really see them. And then we're just going to hang out all weekend. I think it's going to be rainy here in Dallas, at least tomorrow, and chillier. Chillier? Is that the right word? Chillier? More chilly? I don't actually have no idea. But we're just hanging out. I want to do a crossword puzzle, not a crossword puzzle, a jigsaw puzzle. I haven't done one of those in months, and so I'm thinking I might. I bought this. So we've had this round table forever, and I finally went on Etsy. I've been wanting a felt cover for it for playing games and all that kind of stuff. We always had one when I was a kid at my grandparents' house. It looks like just a big shower cap that goes around. It's made out of felt, and so I ordered one on Etsy for this table, and it came. It came right like in June, and I love it. And it's been on there since then. And it's great for doing puzzles because stuff doesn't slide around as much. It's great for playing Yahtzee, which is a big game in our house because the dice doesn't go everywhere and it's not so loud. So cheers. I got my OGP here, Olive Garden 4. Speaking of which, we're ordering in tonight because we always order in on Fridays. And even though today's not technically Friday, like I said, it is our Friday. Don't know where. The kids want pizza. I actually would not be opposed to some Olive Garden. It's usually Italian. It's usually garbage, and I'm okay with that. I had the weirdest dream last night. So just super vivid, right? And last night I had this dream that. And I don't ever know what makes dreams happen? Like, where do things come from? Is anyone there? No one's commenting except for you, Mom. Where do dreams come from? So I had this dream last night that I went shopping at the Pottery Barn outlet with a mom from our school named Ashley and a mom of one of my former employees for like 10 years ago. And we went shopping at Pottery Barn. Pottery Barn happened to be located just outside the gates of Love Field Airport. We walked out of the Pottery Barn, and there was a plane coming to land at Love Field Airport. And as it is approaching, I don't know if it does like a line or something, but it just sliced the plane in half. No one died. Just suddenly it was a convertible, right? The plane comes down, crashes, but not like a deadly crash. For whatever reason, the flight controllers at Love Field Airport did not shut it down, and they just had another one come in, and same exact thing happened to that second one. They finally shut it down after that, but it was so weird, just so bizarre. It was one of those dreams where you kind of wake up from it, and then you go fall back asleep, and then you have the same fucking dream again. right? Like the dreams just kept. So this could have been over the sequence of like 5 sleeps that I am telling you this story right here. But isn't that weird? And I think Jody is right. He is saying it is the CBD. When I started, uh, when I started hitting this stuff about a month ago, I guess, um, I started noticing that my dreams were so much more just like turned up, right? And I do take a pill that's got the curcumin in it, which is an herb that's supposed to help with inflammation right before bed. So it may be that. Although that said, I am sleeping so much better too. So I will take some fucked up dreams over pleasant dreams that but I'm still peeing 2 or 3 times a night, right? Michelle said, I love the subconscious mind. I'm fascinated by it. I am fascinated by what planted those thoughts in my head at this moment and then connected them. Like, why was it specifically the Pottery Barn outlet, right? Why was it specifically next to Love Field Airport? Why was it specifically planes that were like hitting some sort of wire and chopping the top off? Why didn't everyone die? Like why what like these are the things. Why was I with Claire Bloxham, who worked for me, her mom, who worked for me, God, Claire, like 2009, I think is when she left. I mean, it was like the babies had just been born, and I have a Claire also, obviously. But like, why was it that? Like, I don't understand. So, and Jody's saying so many old friends pop up in my dreams now. Are you on the CBD too? Or is it just the time? Uh, Todd Campbell saying CBD gets me turned. Well, I'm doing a half a stopper in the morning under my tongue, and then I'm taking a tablet, a gel tab before bed. It is helping me. I don't know. I actually just feel more. I just do this. I don't know what it's like. More hum. Like I don't feel doped up. I don't feel high. I don't feel anything other than just having really fucked up dreams. But I just feel more like an edge has just been taken off, right? My sister's gonna make fun of me. My mom's like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. My mom's a big fan. But yeah, anyway. Aaron's here. Aaron, did you see what I sent you on Instagram, the private messages? I need you to look at that. I'm not gonna talk about it here though. Maybe Aaron, I want to have you on. I think Aaron, you would be hilarious to have on as a guest. So maybe next week. I don't know if Carrie's going to be here. I can't remember what she said. Because I need a ginkgo biloba CBD pill is what I need. Because I don't have a memory for shit lately. And Todd thinks that dreams are 100% random. Perhaps the chemical balance of the day affects what happened in the dream, but I believe it's just random brain activity before you wake up. I don't know. It's just so weird. Just that, like, why were the thoughts so? Like, why would my brain say, you know what? Let's think about airplanes getting decapitated, and let's think about Pottery Barn outlet. And why wasn't it just the Pottery Barn? Why did it have to be the outlet? Like, that's what I don't understand. My sister wants to know if I get the munchies about that. So I don't get the munchies per se, but I have found that I am significantly hungrier earlier in the day for lunch. Like by 10:45, I am like, lunch better fucking get here soon. Like I have found, I don't know if it's amping up my metabolism or if it's making me crave something, or who knows, maybe I'm just so fucking productive now because I've gotten kind of my center back because I was struggling with ADHD girls. But maybe I just got my center back. And so maybe I'm working and instead of down in the kitchen snacking and stuff, maybe I was doing that before. I don't know. But I am like starving Marvin by like 10:45 in the morning. And Dina's saying she sometimes solves problems in her dreams. Yeah, I've done that. I've done that as well. I actually have found, because I've started doing some meditation too. I'm like all over the kumbaya business these days. I've been doing a little bit of meditation too. And I have found that like I think of things, even though you're not supposed to be thinking of things, like things just sometimes will snap in my brain when I've cleared a bunch of mess out of it, right? And then on my walks, I've been walking 2.5, 3 miles a day, and I won't listen to I don't listen to a podcast, I don't listen to music or anything like that while I'm walking. I want to be like present, right? And so I have found that I just like think of things then too. Like they just pop into my head, like connecting thoughts and all that kind of stuff. So Who knows? My body is probably like, who the fuck are you? Like, where did the old Cooper go? At least you're still drinking, bitch. But like, where did you go? So you're doing some meditation, you're doing the CBD, you're doing all these things, right? It's probably saying like the dreams are like, get back to the old way, please. I don't know. Exercise. I did not think I would like it. I am not hating it as much as I thought I would. So anyway, yesterday I was talking about Carrie was here, obviously. She and I were talking about the Charlie Brown Christmas thing and how people are losing their fucking minds over Charlie Brown selling themselves to Apple for a better price, right? And a big deal. It's like they're making like some Peanut or like Snoopy show. They're on like season 2 of that. Okay, a huge development deal. So good for them. But people losing their minds about that, and we're talking about that, and then it led later off screen into a conversation about gentrification. Yes, because we tackle the light topics here. But I have the same opinion of what happened with Apple Plus as I do about gentrification generally. Somehow the blame always ends up on the Apple Pluses of the world, right? Like that, oh, Apple TV has taken away everyone's access to Charlie Brown. I'm like, no, they bought something that was for sale. And the person who owned it before obviously did not care enough about accessibility to give a damn. And they sold it anyway, right? That's how I feel about gentrification largely too. Now, I think there are things at play, bigger issue. But one of the things I think that we blame developers and flippers and all of that way too much, way more than we put the blame on the person selling the house, selling whatever, right? You can't buy, first of all, you can't buy something that's not for sale. There was a price to be paid. The person got it. The person decided to sell it for the highest price. They probably didn't say, you know what, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this. Make a promise to me that you're not going to do those things. Okay, right? So, for example, though, this church that we bought for my kid's school, the pastor told me point blank that they were given offers for like 50%, 100% more than what we bought it for, right? Because by right, it could be torn down and turned into 18 single-family homes. So there were people wanting to do that, and they said no. This was our church home. We don't need it anymore, but we do not want to do it harm. We do not want it to go away. And so they chose a lower price to us, knowing that they had secured, at least until whenever, the future of that structure. Now we're restoring it and all that kind of stuff. So that is, I think that's responsibility, right? And so that's my thing, is like my office right now, right, is in a very heavily gentrifying part of Dallas, Bishop Arts District. The little lady next door, if she wants to sell her house and she sells it to someone and they want to tear it down, I'm like, she needs to have as much blame as the person building something new on it. Do y'all agree with me? Let's see what y'all are saying. The original sewing machine was created in a dream. Interesting. How do you know that? That's such a random fact. Have I done yoga? Oh, girl, I'm going to do one exercise thing at a time. I'm doing walking right now, and I'm going to count that as like significant amounts. Todd was doing yoga, and he was all kinds of sore afterwards. I have yoga mats, and so we have a full gym that I'm not even a member of downstairs. And we have like the video yoga stuff and all that. So I should try it. I really should. And my mom says meditation could be opening your mind, causing the dreams. Who knows? Yeah, maybe the floodgates are open. All these random thoughts are just like messing all over each other. And Aaron is saying, I think this is in relation to me inviting him to be on the show. I'm only slightly humorous in 60-second increments on TikTok, but you're really funny. Maybe you talk for 60 seconds and then I talk for a long time, and then you think of something else to say for 60 seconds and then I talk for a long time. How about that? I think that yours have planning though also. Like your TikTok videos, if you're on TikTok, the TikTok, Aaron Kyle is on there. a gazillion followers, and he does these really funny, like, just takes on parenting, takes on drinking, takes on politics, all kinds of stuff like that. I love the one where you were talking about not getting fingered by straight men anymore, shaking hands. I thought that was hilarious. So I guess like that's preparation. It's not as much off the cuff as like what I don't do. I mean, this is about as much preparation as I've done for this. I keep a Google Keep, best app in the world, maybe not the best, but one of the best apps in the world. I just keep it's on my phone, it's on my iPad, it's on my computer, and as I think of things, it's just kind of my bloop, 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 write it down. I also think that that's part of the reason why I don't have a memory for shit anymore, is because I'm just offloading so much stuff, and I'm like, I am of the opinion that if I've written it down, I do not need to remember it anymore. So maybe I'm my own worst victim. Um, Michelle loves that I don't plug in while I'm walking. Makes me so crazy when people aren't listening to the birds, looking around at what's going on in the world. I don't mind if other people are doing it. My bigger concern for other people is half the time they can't hear what's going around them, not birds and stuff, but like literally cars and other people walking around them. And it cracks me up when people are on the phone also and they're walking. And first of all, when you got the earbuds in, you don't need to talk loudly. It's getting its sound like through your cranial something like vibrations, right? And a little microphone too, but that's part of it. You don't need to talk loudly. First of all, I don't want to hear what you're saying. I just that always drives me nuts. Um, Wendy, why did you ask about yoga? Have you had good success with yoga? I'm curious. Um, the debate is tonight. I want to remind you, you are under no obligation to watch it whatsoever. It does not make you less of a citizen to not watch the debate. The only thing you have to do is fucking vote. And if you've already voted, you're done. If you already know who you're voting for, you're done. Like you are under no obligation whatsoever. Nothing is going to be learned other than that your blood pressure can go up. These debates, at this point in history, the debates actually no new information surfaces. It's all about zingers and protect. It's all very defensive also. And I actually kind of don't want to watch the debate either because I am so nervous right now about like the neck and neck thing, even though it feels like a landslide. We felt like it was going to be a landslide 2016 also. And so like I'm like, oh Joe, don't fuck up. Just don't. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know about it. And I don't want the other one to have a good night. So anyway, Dr. Parker's going to be watching the debate. I'll be watching Law and Order. I just the stuff that I might be interested in seeing will be in little clips. Shut up, man. You know, stuff that you see the next day. So but again, I just want to remind you do, and it's not even educational. I don't even think our children should be watching it, and not because of any reason other than it's just bad behavior. Honestly, it's not. And again, nothing new is happening. They're not learning anything about the candidates at this point. Like I don't even know why we're having debates this close to the election. It's all a bygone decision, right? Um, and I've been doing yoga once a week since July, loving it, and I can tell I'm getting stronger. Yes, it's amazing how you get stronger so quickly. Also, I have started doing push-ups. Yes, it is true. I try to do 10 a day. Sometimes I have to do them on my knees, you know, the girl style. Nothing wrong with that. But I've been surprised at how quickly I get a little firmness right there. The tits are perking up. I wouldn't go that far, but so anyway, what are y'all's Thanksgiving plans? So here is my thing on Thanksgiving. So there are two schools of thought. Some people are like, we're just going to have it with family and blah blah blah, all that stuff. So we are, and then other people are like, canceled, done. So I'm more on the canceled side. And hang on, someone is texting me, and I need to let them know. Can you leave them on the bench? I'm on a call. Thanks. Sorry, compelling television there. But thanks, back to Thanksgiving. So I'm more on the nope, not getting around other people side of things, right? So we are going to, our school has 2 weeks off for Thanksgiving this year. And so that is giving us ample time to quarantine ourselves. We're going to drive out to my in-laws in North Carolina. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically quarantine ourselves for like the 10 to 14-day window. There's new directions coming out saying that, like for kids, you don't have to quarantine for a whole 14 days. And so we're going to drive out, and then they already like live quarantine as kind of a lifestyle. They live out in the country in the middle of nowhere, gorgeous property, nice house, and they literally go into town for like groceries, like for 45 minutes a week. So that's the only time they see other human beings, um, other than Fox News. But so they already kind of live the quarantine lifestyle. So we are not afraid of them at all. So we're gonna drive out, and so then we're with them for part of the Thanksgiving week, and then we have to drive back. We have to leave on Friday, right after Thanksgiving, because the kids need to be back in school on Monday. And literally, that's our only school is literally our only higher risk thing that we're doing, and our school is doing it really well. I mean, it's a small school. Everyone's in masks all the time, the partitions and all that stuff. But we're not doing it. And Aaron's only having dinner with his in-laws. Yeah. And nothing, all family out of town. Boo. That's what Michelle Condrey is saying. Yeah, we're not into the big gatherings. I think that Thanksgiving is going to be a super spreader. I really do. I'm worried about like the couple of weeks after that. And then you got Christmas right after that. Although I feel like, at least here in Texas, that people get together in bigger groups for Thanksgiving than they do Christmas, right? I feel like Christmas is done a little bit more in the smaller pods, but Thanksgiving is a big, everyone's going to Aunt Betty's house, and there's going to be 600 people there, and everyone's bringing a covered dish and all of that kind of. Is that how y'all are too? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But that's our plans for Thanksgiving, driving out, quarantining beforehand, driving out in the RV, taking our time. I think we're going to go down to the coast, kind of meander along the coast, climb back up the South Carolina coast, and then cut over into the mountains. Take our sweet ass time doing it. So, and speaking of the holidays, I'm already looking at Christmas card designs. I kid you not, I'm already looking. Because here's the deal, it's going to be up on, by the time you order them, they get here, you mail them, all that kind of stuff. It's all here, right? So already working on updating the list. We got to take the photo for it, and we usually do that over Thanksgiving because my in-laws' house it's in the woods. It's just so, with like some mountains and stuff. It's so wonderful for that kind of photo. Sometimes there's snow even, and so we'll take usually the photo there. But I need to have the design nailed down like before that, so that I know. So upload the photo, send it, done, print, right? And so it's here within the thing. And Sandy is saying Thanksgiving is a big country shindig. Not this year though. Christmas is more intimate. That's my background too. Is that Christmas is the more intimate, is kind of like your small pot of people, and Thanksgiving is the hootenanny, right? So, and Ryan is saying Canadian Thanksgiving was 2 weeks ago, and their numbers are going up. Yeah, I think so too. And Beth is flying to New Jersey for Christmas. Flight's still empty. Our first venture outside the zip code. Well, supposedly flying is actually one of the safest things you can do at the moment, because they're mandating so many masks, and the air exchange rate on airplanes, like all of the air is exchanged within like 3 minutes. And not even just because of COVID, but because that's literally how planes stay pressurized, is by taking in outside air and releasing it out the back as needed. Like, so it was already like built into it. We're still not flying. I think the airport is probably the most dangerous part of flying, not the airplane, when it comes to COVID. And Aaron also agrees Thanksgiving is my favorite. No gifts, just booze and food. Yes. And no watching people open gifts. Like, I'm just like, let's just hang out and have a good time. We won't be hosting our Christmas Eve open house for 120 this year. I know I missed that, but I totally get it. And we wouldn't be going anyway if you were. So it makes me feel less guilty about canceling. It's a good time though. Ryan, stop texting and driving. Oh, I'm not going to contribute to that. Oh, that's right. Ryan listens in the car. Hi, Ryan. My first Christmas install is the first week in November. I'm ready for it. The November 4th is my appointment to have the lights on the tree. I mean, on the house. I'll probably next weekend. Next weekend is Halloween, right? I'll probably start pushing stuff out, pulling it out of the Christmas closet, which is literally on the other side of this wall, and getting stuff staged so that it's ready to go. I cannot wait. And then what else was I going to say about that? Need to hire people. We normally have people here to help us collectively, like as a family gathering kind of thing, do our reindeer erection. But I think we're just gonna pay some guys $50 or something to put them up so that we're not around them. We're not endangering anybody else. Because I don't trust shit for shit. I do not trust anyone. I don't care if you're related to me. I don't care if we share DNA. I don't care. If we do not share plumbing on a daily basis, I do not want to share my air with you. That is basically my rule of thumb. I should have a live stream of me decorating. Girl, it gets messy. I start with this. Next thing you know, I'm like 2 bottles in, and I'm like, why does my head hurt so bad? Oh, but my house looks beautiful. And why do I have glitter? The glitter like sticks with me until like February. So anyway, random thing. So I was gonna talk about the Pope. I don't know if I'll believe it when I see it. I'm just going to shorthand it with that. I'll believe it when I see it with the whole Pope. Because I even read in the Wall Street Journal this morning that because he made the comment about civil unions, he thinks government should do civil unions, no marriages, right? Which is kind of a separate but equal, and that hasn't really worked that well for America. So I guess I am talking about it. My whole thing. So I read this morning in the Wall Street Journal that because he said it on a documentary and not in a sermon or in a papal document, it carries zero weight whatsoever. On my own, well, that's like saying you're kind of pregnant. No, it's not. Nah. And Michelle doesn't like the name reindeer erection. Well, what else do you call putting up your reindeer? Like what title would you give? It's like a barn raising. It's a reindeer erection. We got to erect it, right? I try to act so innocent in there. I know exactly what I'm saying, right? And then just a really random thing. I'm near the end. I always start, and I say this every time. I was like, I didn't think I had anything to talk about. 30 minutes later, I'm like, blah, blah. I learned something really interesting today. I was learning about, I saw this random article about famous people who are heirs of famous, like, estates or famous families that you might not know about. There were 2 specifically that surprised me. One is Carly Simon. I did not know Carly Simon was the heir to Simon and Schuster, the publishing house. Her dad, I think it was her dad, maybe granddad, is the Simon of Simon and Schuster, the publishing house that we've all heard of, own books from, have given hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to, right? Which it's since been sold to Viacom, I believe. And so, it's a pretty big business if CBS Viacom owns it. So Carly Simon that's the Simon. I had no idea. Did y'all know that? And then Chevy Chase, who I love him so much. I think I'm landing somewhere between him and Ina Garten on life. I got the Chambray shirt already. His mother is the stepchild to Cornelius Vanderbilt. So they're part of the Vanderbilt family, along with Anderson Cooper and all these people. I had no idea that Chevy Chase was part of the Vanderbilts. Even if it's a step thing, she still inherited a shit ton of money. And he's worth like a gazillion dollars just based on that. Ooh. Maybe you older folks who were I only know Carly Simon because my mom loved Carly Simon. And I love her now too, but she was not, she's basically always been easy listening to my generation. She wasn't like the hip, cool person, right? And so maybe y'all knew that because my mom knew it. Let's see. I don't care about any organized religion approving or not approving of my legality of my love. I agree. Honestly, they could call it macaroni and cheese for all I care, as long as Bob and Linda 2 doors down have the same rights as I do and call it the exact same thing. Problem is the word marriage is the word that is used in all the legal documents. So unless we go back and change every possible document, we need to use the word marriage. That is the key. That is the key. And they can have their religious marriage if they want. Add an adjective before it. But yep, she is all over the vineyard when we're there. Carly, that is. Oh, a friend of mine's parents are now living about half the year on the vineyard, and they say they see Martha's Vineyard. For those of you who aren't in the know, they see the Obamas there all the time because they have a big house. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is an heiress too. I did know that, so I think that's a fairly well-known one. Either, and then what's the guy? So everyone knows Kate Hudson is Goldie Hawn's daughter. But there's a son also who is a famous actor now, who you would recognize and stuff, whose name is failing me. Patrick Hudson? I don't remember. Also, Goldie Hawn's son. I had no idea. Saw that. But this article, it was specifically about heirs and heiresses, and it obviously had the Hiltons and stuff in it. But Carly Simon was really the one that blew my mind, and Chevy Chase. Okay. Does it have a big red tip? You talking about my erection, or you talking about my reindeer? I'm being horrible. I don't know why. No, our reindeer are all white plywood. We made them ourselves. They stand 18 feet tall in the front yard with spotlights on them. You can literally see them from an airplane. I have been on an airplane taking off, and you can see our house, and you can see the reindeer from the flight path from DFW Airport on American Airlines on the way to Greenville, Spartanburg, South Carolina. I kid you not. So you can't miss some. We wanted to do, so we have the plans for, we've done two. Oliver Hudson, that's his name. We had the two reindeer, and we have the plans for a sled, and the sled is like big enough for humans can sit in it. But Todd won't make that one. He says it's too complicated, too expensive. It's like 16 pieces of plywood. Plywood's like $40 a sheet. Add that up. And then also where we store it. We have them in the attic right now. And they store flat because they just kind of piece together, but still. And I cannot imagine what your favorite neighbor will say. Snitchy will have to fuck off. Everyone loves our reindeer. There's not a single person in our neighborhood who hates them. We have strangers come knock on our door and bring us gifts literally, this has happened. We've had people come up, give us wine, give us gifts saying, thank you for bringing so much Christmas spirit to our neighborhood. It is so sweet. And I guarantee you, if someone snitchy tries to be snitchy and bitchy about this, they're going to get shut down real fast. That's how we're going to find out who did this, right? Still got our shrub out there as well. Okay, and then I'm not doing anything else this weekend. Maybe a puzzle, hanging out. Tomorrow, like I said, today's our Friday. So I hope y'all are well. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything that y'all said in the comments. I can't believe I used the word hootenanny in this episode. I hadn't used that word. I love words like that, right? Okay, with that, I'm going to say bye. I will see you on Monday at 4:30. Skipping tomorrow, so we'll not be here tomorrow. Don't count on it. But I'll see you Monday. In the meantime, I love you. It's important to know you are loved. I love that you watched this. Thank you for the free therapy. Woohoo! Wear a mask. Take care of yourself. Stay away from other bitches. And that's it. I'll see you on Monday. Bye. No, I turn this